This soundboard does what it wants. It's WDWL-TV, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, and my studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And, gotta get this out of the way, a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. Now, not a word out of you. I still got the zip tie for your bake. As you can see, I'm broadcasting with the golden microphone. Although it's a little low. Hold on, let me make another adjudicament. I thought I had it adjusted right. That didn't work. Now it's up a little too high. Never a dull moment. Bring it down a little bit. There. Well, maybe not exactly. That's better. Plus, you can see more of it. The golden microphone. The microphone I started with over 2 years ago. The most reliable out of all of them. Although I gotta tell you, this Moon runs a real close second. I kind of like this because it takes me back to like the 50s when I used to watch like Walter Cronkite, and he always had one of these rectangular microphones on his desk. It makes me look official, like I'm a real broadcaster. But I kind of like my golden one too. Maybe I'll put the Moon on later on in the week. What do you think, Bird? Okay. I gotta tell you, I can't win. No matter when I go shopping, there's always gotta be some sort of an incident. So, earlier, I ran up to the store to get a few items I needed for dinner. No big deal. Until I got to the service desk. Now, I got 5 items. The poor guy in front of me had 1. Now, they make this announcement constantly in the store. If you got less than 15 items, come to the service desk. So, the guy's in front of me, patiently waiting. Here's this old woman, got about 30 lottery tickets. The poor girl at the service desk is working by herself. We're waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Finally, she gets done. The girl at the service desk hands her all of her paper slips. She puts them in her purse, puts her wallet in her purse, gets ready to step away and goes, "Oh, I want a couple of scratch-offs." Well, that's when Grumpy's temper really scratched off. I says to her, "You completed your purchase, you put your stuff in your purse, you were getting ready to walk away, you're not the customer anymore, step aside." She says, "I'm still here." I said, "You finished your purchase, you were getting ready to leave, you picked up your purse to walk away. Get out of the way." The girl at the service desk, she knows Grumpy's a lunatic. She with your item. Needless to say, not knowing Grumpy, he wasn't too sure. I said, "Step up with your item." I give him a little nudge. So he stepped up. The girl at the service says, "Checked him out." And I immediately put my basket on the counter. Because the old broad playing the lottery, she can wait until Grumpy's done with his 5 items. So, I bag my 5 items, I pay for them. I reach back, and the guy behind me, I said, "Get up here quick." He goes, "Yeah, but what about the old woman?" I said, "She can wait." And I stood there. And the old woman, she kept giving me the stink eye. I just had a big smile on my face. Grumpy's Law. So, I get home, and I realized I forgot to check the coffee. Now, like I explained, there's 2 things that Grumpy needs to survive. One is cigarettes, one is coffee. I checked the coffee. Shit, there ain't enough to make a pot in the morning. So, since store number 1 didn't have coffee on sale, I'm going to run up to Save-A-Lot and get their $5.99 coffee that tastes like it's something that Juan Valdez rejected 30 years ago. But hey, it's cheap, it's coffee. I'll drink it. Sometimes I have to add a little more sugar. Yeah, it tastes like, they swept the grounds up off the floor. But for $5.99 a can versus $14.99, Grumpy's cheap. So, I walk past the ice cream counter. Oh, I look in. They got chocolate peanut butter on sale. $3.99. Regularly $5.99. Now, I haven't had ice cream in ages. So I grab it and I put it in my bag. See, this is one of those stores where you got to bring your own bag. So I walk over to the coffee aisle. Now, 3/4 of the way down the coffee aisle, and I hate that they put these displays in the aisles. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to beat you on the beak. Well, there's a display and a display. They're right across from one another. In the middle of the aisle are 2 women bullshitting. So I'm standing there patiently with my ice cream melting in my bag. And they're talking, and they're talking, and they're talking. And, I'd like to kick them in the ass when they got to lean on the cart, Stand up, push the cart. I'd like to come in with a sawzall and cut the handle off the cart and watch them fall on their fucking face. Everybody's kind of lean. So they're yakking away. Then one of their cell phones rings. Now, they're blocking the aisle. I can't get by. They're leaning on their carts. They both got asses the size of Baltimore. I can't get by. I'm losing my patience. Now, yeah, I could have walked all the way back down and around and down the aisle. The coffee was 4 feet in front of him. That's where I had to get to. So finally I said, "Excuse me, can I get through?" And the one woman turns around and says, "Can't you see we're talking?" I says, "Yeah, and can't you see you're blocking the fucking aisle?" "Well, you don't have to get nasty about it." I says, "I've been standing there for 5 fucking minutes. You're blocking the aisle. I can't get by." "Go around," she says. Oh, I almost lost it. Grumpy almost turned into a pterodactyl. Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'd have bit both of their fucking heads off. I wanted to kick the woman in the ass, but her ass was so big my foot would have got stuck. Then they had to call the paramedics to extract my foot from up in her rectum. Finally, the manager comes down. I guess he saw what was going on. And he says, "Can one of you please move so that this customer can get by?" She said, "Well, we were going to move, but he got nasty." The store manager kind of looked at me and I said, "I just told her to move her fat ass. That's all I told her." The manager looked back at me and said, "Did you have to say it that way?" I said, "Yeah, Grumpy has to make a point." Well, finally they moved. I grabbed my can of coffee, and the one has to smart off and go, "All this for that?" I said, "You know," and I wasn't mincing no words, "I'd have kicked your ass, but then we'd have had to call the paramedics to extract my foot out of it because your ass is so goddamn big. That's why you were blocking the aisle, both of yous. You look like 2 fucking elephants standing there." Well, did they get insulted? Oh well, truth hurts. Yeah, I don't know how they got into their spandex. Evidently, there must have been a group of people at the bottom of the stairway holding them open, and she jumped and then landed in them, and everybody let go because I'm sure she didn't put them on by herself. Yeah, the one had an ass the size of Baltimore, the other one had an ass the size of Chicago. Then no wonder I can't get by. So I says to the manager, I says, "Hey, do you have to strategically put those displays right across from couldn't you have staggered it? If you'd have staggered it, I maybe could have squeezed by if I inhaled." He said, "I'll think about moving them." Oh yeah, after all the bullshit. Pardon me. So, when I get up to the cash register, my favorite little cashier is working today. I put my items on the belt, and she started to laugh. And I said, "What's so funny?" She says, "You know, I was thinking the same thing when I looked down the aisle, because her register, she could see down the coffee aisle." She goes, "I was thinking the same thing. It looked like 2 elephants." I said, "Yeah, I'm not the only one that thought that way. Good." Well, then the manager came up to the register. And I says, "Oh, now, I'm supposed you're going to yell at me." He says, "No, I'm going to chuckle with you. You were right. The 2 of them bent over leaning on the cart look like 2 goddamn elephants." It did. Had they not been wearing, colored spandex, it would have been neater if they were like in dark gray and maybe had a tail. Oh, I've seen some asses before, but holy Christ. I don't know how the hell they get in their vehicles. I really should have waited around to see what they were driving. Now, I'm not fat shaming, but these two were fat. They probably tipped the scales at about 620 combined. Don't you say a word. Yeah, they're standing there. Middle of the aisle, leaning on their shopping carts. Display on either side of them. I can't get by. And I wasn't going to walk around. Because as soon as they moved, the coffee was right there. And then, she has the nerve to say, all this for that? I said, yeah, my fucking ice cream is melting, waiting here, standing, waiting until, yeah. Yak, 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 yak. They got to get on a cell phone. Yeah, that's another thing pisses me off. Everywhere you go, somebody got a fucking phone stuck in their ear. And they always have it on speaker. I don't want to hear your conversation. You need to have it on speaker at your ear? I'd like to walk by and fucking mute their phones. So, I already sent the email to the other store's regional manager. Because I'm going to complain about this lottery bullshit. They need to come up with a different system. You got one person working the service desk. She can't do lottery and check out customers at the same time. And they got to limit it. If you come up with, 20 fucking lottery tickets, do 2 at a time, step aside. 2 at a time, step aside. There's got to be a different system. I'm not going to stand in a big line of customers when I got 5 goddamn items and they're announcing on the PA, 15 items or less, come to the service desk for faster checkout. Bullshit. Faster checkout my ass. And it's always these goddamn seniors. Now, I'm a senior. Okay? I don't play lottery. I don't know how they can afford to dump $20, $30, $50, $100 a week on goddamn lottery. Don't they know it's like Vegas? It's aimed at the fucking house. Lottery. Yeah. I hate it. They set up a separate register for the lottery. They need to have some system where a customer comes up and they want to play lottery and there's other customers in line. Get someone else. Page somebody. I made the suggestion, have a stalker come. Well, whoever works the service desk, that's the only one allowed to do a lottery. Well, then we gotta straighten that fucking system out real fast. If you're going to have a regular register and a lottery register, then you have a regular cashier and a lottery cashier. I don't care if she's standing there with her finger up her ass for 8 hours to tie up a goddamn cash register. Not cash register, clerk. Grumpy's old, pardon me. You got one person at the service desk to tie up that person, and they gotta scan the ticket, punch in, hit the screen. Scan the ticket, punch in, hit the screen. It's not like you scan it. No! It takes too much goddamn time. And then you gotta wait till the tickets print out. Bullshit. So I fired off an email to my favorite regional manager. Soon as he sees my name, he's gonna go, oh fuck, not him again. I just handled him with the bread complaint. Now what's he bitching about? But see, he shouldn't have sent me his personal email. What do you think, I was going to throw it away? No. It's right up on top of my monitor. I taped it up there. Yeah. That'll teach him. And it's going to his iPhone. So he's probably like reading it right now. Sitting in his living room, feet up, watching his big, 80-inch flat screen. Oh, let's see. Oh no, grumpy old man. Shit, he just ruined my fucking day. I won't be able to sleep tonight. That's alright. I'm going to get sleep because I told him, don't call me until after 12. Yeah. Grumpy don't like calls before noon. But I gave him some leeway. I said any day this week. I'm sure he'll be calling me tomorrow at 12:01. Hello, grumpy old man. This is Nicholas. Hi. What's your problem? Then I'm going to unleash on him. It's bullshit. The lottery's bullshit. See, back in the 70s, the state conned us. Oh, they did a good job conning us, too. They said, all the proceeds from the lotto are going to go to the schools. Well, people are like, money going to support the schools? I'll vote it in. Yeah. About 3% goes to the school. That's it. Yeah, they conned us good. All them lottery commission officials driving the big company cars, big fancy desks. Expense accounts. Yeah. That's where everybody's hard-earned money is going. Bunch of bullshit. I've been watching the volume levels. They look pretty good to me. I did everything I could to lower the volume because it was quite loud, even after I made the adjustments yesterday. So I'm hoping, although one thing I just remembered, I forgot to adjust the levels on Prism. Uh-oh. If the volume's loud, sorry. I just realized. Yeah. It's going all the way to the end of the scale, and the slide bar's all the way at the end of the scale. Oh, sorry. He's got to move because I talk with my hands like an Italian. I keep smacking him on the beak. But it's better than getting a zip tie on the beak, isn't it? I watched yesterday's video 3 times today. I laughed my ass off. I hope whoever else watches it thought it was funny too. Especially when I was talking about my grandmother's colon blow. Yeah, colon blow. I remembered what the other one was. She didn't like using that one. It was called rectal flush. I knew it had rectal in it. Could you see going into a store? Let's see, what am I going to buy? Colon blow or rectal flush? I think I'll get the colon blow. Yeah, they weren't fancy with the names back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, you know. Colon blow. You knew that item was going to do what it wanted. And rectal flush, too. Yeah, rectal flush. Johnson's rectal flush. But not Johnson & Johnson. It was a different Johnson. I remembered that one. Johnson's rectal flush. And Peers. P-E-E-R-S. Peers colon blow. They didn't spend a lot of time thinking up a fancy name. You know, they could have come up with Colonex. That would be something today. Colonex. No, they were right to the point. Colon blow. If they gave it to you in a hospital, they'd be putting on moon suits, masks, gloves up to here. Okay, give her the colon blow. Talk about the shit hitting the fan. Oh. I couldn't remember the rest of the stuff she used to buy. They bought all kinds of weird shit. And they didn't have toothpaste. It was tooth powder. I liked the directions. Shake some powder in the palm of your hand. Add a few drops of water from your toothbrush and stir around. Then brush your teeth. In your hand? I hope you washed your hand after you used the colon blow. Yeah, that's what it said. Put the powder in the palm of your hand. Wet your toothbrush, stir around, brush your teeth. Yeah, you don't see that anymore. Tooth powder. Although there is one that they still make today. It's Goody's headache powder. It's not like aspirins. It's actually powder. I never used it. I never wanted to. Can you just, there's nothing worse than like putting an aspirin in your mouth and not getting the water up quick enough, and aspirins dissolve like instantaneously. There's nothing worse than an aspirin taste on your tongue. I can't see Goody's headache powder. Pour it in your tongue. Wash it down. But it's popular, especially down south. They sell a lot of it down there. I don't think they sell it much around here anymore. But colon blow. I love that one. Had I known that they were going to take it off the market, I would have bought a box and just kept it for prosperity. Just so I could have held it up and went, colon blow. It takes care of your colon like this. Like this. Like this. See, I told you the soundboards are getting old. Push that button again. Oh, now it works. Good old colon blow. And I racked my brain all day trying to think of the stars that were on Carson's that night. You know, Ed McMahon, they had Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, but for the life of me, I can't remember who was sitting in the guest chair when they were dropping their cigarettes ashes in his drink. Escapes me. I can picture him. I can see him. I can't put a name with it. I'm going to have to research a bunch of Carson videos so I can figure out who that was. I can picture him. He's a little fat dude. Had dimples. He was crazy. Can't remember his name. I can remember the routines he did. Can't remember his name. He's right here. I can see him. If I close my eyes, I can see his face. Can't put a name with it. It sucks to get old. Don't say a word. It's bad enough he's, vying for my job. Don't give me the stink eye. Yeah. Oh, he'll be in management's office tomorrow morning, crying. I insulted him on air. The red phone will be ringing. The hotline. Problem is, it only works one way. I can't call up front. But, they can call back here. The hotline. I showed it to you yesterday. The hotline. Direct to the CEO's office. It'll be buzzing tomorrow. Soon as he sees my truck pull in, I'll no sooner walk in here. The light will be flashing. Come to my office. Actually, what I should do when I come in, I should go right to his office. Here I am, guilty. The bird isn't happy. He gets the big villain, Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. What do I get? This little grumpy old man road. Look at the size of the signs. You can tell who has pull around here. Look at that sign. Right there. Look at my sign. And then you have the nerve to complain. I should... before I leave tonight, I just might have to use the zip tie. Just kidding. Works again. All right. What are we going to end with? Something different. Let's end with the can. Friends, I'll talk at you tomorrow.